update. I don't think there's spots here though, so I'm gonna go back up again to record. Fucking busy. Alright, we're back. This is the second retake of my video. Let's not waste any time here. Me and my girl just recently broke up around December. It was near my birthday as well. And it was one of my darkest moments in life, because my friends weren't there, nobody was there to support me, or nobody there to guide me how to move on. And I feel like breakups are the things that can actually make you a man and actually helps you to get out of the hell yourself. And the thing is, breakups are also a lesson that we have to eventually meet in life, because the purpose of a breakup is to learn and to apply. And learning is just learning what type of girl that you actually want for your life, and the other one is applying. It means to actually build yourself and find that ideal girl that you have placed onto your standards. And so this video, I think it would help a lot of people who is trying to move on after a breakup. And I use this 6-step formula in order to move on and grow as a person. And I feel like a lot of you would benefit from this, and a lot of you are experiencing this type of interaction. So let's not waste time here, and let's get right into the video. So let's talk about the problems, understanding, moving on with our ex-lovers. And so a lot of people think that they are the one. So basically it means like the love that you guys have is eternal, but actually it isn't, because the love in your first relationship is rarely going to be a real love, because the real love lasts an eternity. And so the first relationship or the second relationship that you grow up in, you have to accept the fact that it wasn't love, it was a test. Okay, so what I mean by test is basically God gave you this event to test or to examine what your future wife would look like, what your ideal person that you want to stay your entire life. Okay, so it's not gonna be perfect. There's a lot of breakups that you would experience when you're new to this, or it's just the fact that God is still giving you some knowledge to rethink and contemplate on your standards and your boundaries. So now let's move on to the steps in how to move on. This is the full guide on how to move on completely from your ex-lover. Step 0 of this course is no more contacts. Avoid any contact, especially on apps for communication such as Messenger or Instagram. Block and delete their profile, because the thing is, if you see them every single day, it's either your contacts or it's either they posted something. Now, because a lot of people don't want to block because it would make them think like they're the weak ones. But the thing is, if you just want to move on quickly right now, you would just need to avoid any contacts and avoid any unnecessary sufferings that you would experience in the future, because not blocking means you're not prepared to move on. And this video is only for the people who actually want to escalate and evolve in life, because we all need to move on sometime in the future. Our family's death, a loss of someone close to you, anything that's related to that, that's also moving on. I have a quote here. We don't move back in the past, we go forward. And basically means we want to appreciate our past, but we should never go back to it. The thing is, when we go back to our exes, when we don't block them and we go back to them, it will make it more harder for us to move on, because we can see them, their contacts, their messages, and their pictures. And so this is the first actionable step, is to block them off in every single social media platform that you use. I personally use Messenger, and I block them off on Instagram, I block them off on Messenger. Those are the only social media apps that I use, although I don't really use Instagram that much anymore, And Messenger, yeah, I do use a lot of Messenger, so I had to block it there as well. If you have already blocked on step 0, we're gonna move on to step 1 as well. So step 1 is to never lose hope. After a breakup, we do not want to think that we lost hope in the dating market. We don't want to feel a lot of guilt of the things we have done in that relationship. And let's just think that it was not a waste of time. It was a lesson for us to learn. Because for most people I see, even myself, they lose hope because they think that they were the bad people and or their ex was a bad person, and they just cope and say like, oh, I will never find a perfect girl for me, oh, I would never find a perfect man for me. That is incorrect, because after you have dated someone, your body and mind adapts to whom they like. It just helps you shape your future ideal. And losing hope means that you're blackpilling yourself. No one's gonna love you anymore. Everyone's gonna hate you because you broke up with this girl and you're the one at fault. But no one is at fault when a breakup happens. But the partner is just really a red flag. But after you move on from that depression or that breakup, then you would actually start to feel like that you appreciate that breakup because it gave you a lot of lessons and learnings, and that makes you more knowledgeable about your actions, what you want your future wife or future husband to be, and how could you achieve it. And how could you achieve it is just basically, what actions do I need to take in order for me to get to that level, the dream level. Okay. Step 2, self-improvement. Now, after you have experienced a breakup, what we want to do is to not be complacent, not be procrastinating about the things that we do, and not use a breakup as an excuse for pain and suffering that we don't want to do, the daily tasks that we need to accomplish in order to improve our lives. And the thing is, self-improvement is actually gonna improve your life. And at first, it might be hard because you just went through a breakup and your mind is thinking, we should not do this, I'm so hurt right now and I can't concentrate and it's gonna be so painful. But the thing is, self-improvement does the opposite. Okay, so at first it's gonna be hard for us to do self-improvement because we just experienced this breakup. But over time, if we just did the right things, if we prioritize our future self, then it would equal to a better life and an improved life. And you would feel gratitude of the actions that you took today and for your future self. And your future self is just think about it. Your future self is gonna think of you as a person who sacrificed for his gains. And this is what we call delayed gratification. What we don't want to do after a breakup is just scroll through your ex's Instagram, scroll on Facebook, watch unnecessary stuff, just basically any bad habits, smoking, eating fast food. We just don't want to do the bad habits because that's just gonna make us worse. And you might think right now that, oh, this thing, like this bad habit is actually gonna help me to move on. Because no, the more you take that substance, the bad habits, the more your life is gonna get worse. It's the same thing even if you didn't experience a breakup. If you did the bad habit every single day, then it will also worsen your life. Even if times are hard, we should not sacrifice and we should not indulge in any kind of bad habits or just terrible sleep and terrible mind, and because you're forcing yourself to think that your life is over as well. As we talked about the understanding breakups, we talked about nihilism, and the more that you think that you're depressed, the more you are going to be depressed, the more you will act like one. Because if you implant this self-image that we would never recover, then we would never recover, because the mind thinks that. And mind is a superpower. The brain controls what activities we do, what actions we take. So the step 2 is to just remove any limiting beliefs that you have and start self-improvement. Start setting some goals, start achieving them, and the more that you do this kind of stuff, the more that you lean into your edge, the uncomfortable side. For example, what I want to do is like, even when I don't feel like waking up at 4:30, I just wake up at 4:30. Even if my sleep was like, I had a bad day yesterday, I had terrible sleep. So this is the time after the breakup, when you're experiencing right now, this is the time where we double our self-improvement. And so that leads us to the next step. Step 2.1, set new expectations of yourself. Live at your edge and set a new image of yourself. So what I mean by set expectations of yourself, you're not just gonna set like a goal that is too easy to achieve, but not too impossible to achieve. And what I mean by that is set a goal that is impossible, and impossible, not impossible. I'm so sorry. And the thing is, we're reaching our edge here, and we are living in our edge when we set this goal, but not too far in the edge that we can't really do it, that it will cause health problems or any kind of problems when you set that goal. Because what we want here is the best for you, and not too outwards in the edge, like not too safe, that we can easily achieve this goal. But there's a research that's saying that if you set a goal too low, like too below you, you're not actually gonna achieve it, because you think that it's just an easy goal, and you won't have any ambition to do the goal. And so I set goals by this kind of system. So it's the WHW method. It's what do you want from your life? W. H is how do you want it from your life? And W is why do you want it from your life? Okay? So let me just explain. What do you want in life? It's general, basically. It's just general. What do you want? How do you want in life? How do you want to measure? Or how do you want to get through that goal? Into habits? Through habits, or through some kind of thing that you want to do? Just basically just set those goals and then obsess over it. And what I learned about obsessive goals is that I achieve it like over the limit than what I expected, because the goal is too like, it's just so ambitious to strive in that you want to do it every single day. You would strive hard to achieve that goal. That's the goal for masculinity as well. That is progress. We just need progress in life in order for us to also move on. And just set challenges in your life. Or it's either you want to switch something in your habit tracker that actually makes you uncomfortable, but yet you can do it. For example, what I like to do is just to wake up at 4:30 a.m. even when I'm sleeping. You know, that's a sign of bad sleep, but like, I'm just saying this, right? I gotta sleep earlier the next day. That was my lesson. So I would still discipline myself to wake up, do 25 push-ups first thing in the morning, and then just do my work, my daily routine. And that is called discipline, because I didn't really feel like to do the work, the action, my routine, because I was too tired to do so, but I still do. And at the end of the pain, at the end of the suffering that I made, I now realize that I have benefited my future self for this. But we have to just shut the beliefs off and continue progressing in life. Just water break. So what I suggest here is to set a new image for yourself. It could be improving your responsibility skills. It could be improving your charismatic skills, your ability to care for others, being humorous, and any other trait that make your social skills better. It just improve your self-image, because a lot of people think, like I already discussed this, a lot of people think that it's the end for them and that they're a bad person because their ex broke up with them, something like that. But the thing is, you should learn how to set a new image for yourself, a good image. Because the thing is, when, for example, a fat guy goes into a gym, and when he goes to the gym, he does a cardio, 30 minutes. Then after that work, after like 2 days, he goes off. And why? Because he perceives himself as a fat person. And if you change that self-image to a person who's an athlete, then he would make the decisions based on an athlete, not on the fat guy. Because he can still perceive himself as a fat guy going to the gym, and he still eats a ton because he perceives himself as a fat guy. Now this is very different from ego. Okay, self-image is different from ego, because the ego is the arrogance that you can do this thing. For example, a fat guy is going to the gym. He says that he's gonna do a 2-hour run. What do you think he's gonna do? That's correct. He doesn't go 2 hours. He stops at 45 minutes. He's so tired, he's panting, and then he's just disciplining from himself. And I think we can also implement here like discipline, something like that. But if the goal is too big and too stupid to achieve, like too impossible, that you're about to die when you do that goal, then don't do it. Because it's called arrogance, it's called ego, it's called ego lifting. So you know, when these power lifters, they just like, some of them carry like super heavy weights, but then, you know, like the weight that they can't even carry, and then they just break their backs or something like that. That's called ego. Okay, so self-image is just having a good self-image of yourself. You don't want to be like, you don't want to shape your self-image as this person that is hopeless, but you also want to also be hard on yourself, because that builds also tough skin, just like David Goggins said. The actionable step here is to create goals, set goals, achieve them, and by the end of the week, you won't even be thinking about the X. Okay, so just set your routine to be harder than it initially is after the breakup, because this won't work for me, but it may not work for you. So if you really can't do the routine yet, you should obviously progressively deload. But if you really can't do your routine, you're consistent at it, and you feel your life is too easy, you should add more challenges. But if you really can't, and it's just a breakup happened, then you should just progressively deload the work that you put in, because otherwise, if you do the hard things, you would not do it, because you don't have enough discipline yet to finish simple tasks, and so you would quit and not be consistent. That is the problem of people being arrogant and having a big ego to do the stuff that they need, the full workout and hard stuff. Okay, so we have talked about this in this section about the difference between self-image versus ego. So let's go move on to step number 3. Step number 4, understanding that moving on takes time. This is what people get wrong about moving on. They think that they can move on super quickly and rebound other people. But the thing is, you're making it worse. Because when you rebound and with another girl or with another boy, then you would miss the essence of the past girl that you had. You would compare to the person who you rebounded right now, to your ex. And so that makes you want to go back to your ex. And the thing is, I don't really recommend dating after you have just broken up with your ex. And I think you should just move on first before we date another person, because you're gonna hurt the other person even more when you date them. And you're not just hurting yourself here, but you're also hurting the other person that you're dating, because she doesn't want a person who has not moved on yet and has the potential to go back with his ex. Okay, and so you should take time, take patience, then understand this is a long process, and yeah, this is gonna be just a short one, just another mentality that you need to apply in order to move on quickly. And the pain that we experience in the breakup helps us learn as well. And suffering and experience is the best teacher. You can't learn this in any of the books. You you just have to experience it yourself so that it will be stuck, the knowledge will be stuck in your mind forever because you have experienced it. Step 4 is journaling. So journaling can take into a lot of different ways, okay? And the thing is, this is a different journaling that gratitude journaling has. It's gratitude journaling is for having gratitude, but this is like a negative journaling. And so you would journal the experiences that you had with the past lover that you had. List down all the mistakes that you did, all the red flags that you have, and list down also her mistakes, her red flags, and tell the entire story to. It's either you can use a notepad, you can use a journaling template, or you can just write it on your notebook. And as easy as it seems, it's kind of uncomfortable at first. And when you're telling a story, you really don't know where to start to explain your story. And so I think you should start contemplating in what our minds is telling us to do. So this practice, you can't have any phones nearby you because you're gonna grab it and then you're just gonna do something, do other tasks, and take times in days to just contemplate without any distractions. Just take time to contemplate your experiences, the story that about you and that girl from beginning to the end of breakup. And this will really help you to understand, to process everything, and to really recover and understand that yep, this is a real experience, it's not fake, and it's the time, it's the realization that you have to move on from her. And this is one of the most effective ones actually, because I tried this last time and it actually helped me to forget her a little bit. Right now, I'm okay now, I moved on. So after this section, we're going to be moving on to step number 5. Step number 5, be with the people whom you trust, and be with the people whom stayed at your side when you were crying or when it is your darkest times. Because the thing is, a lot of people or a lot of these Sigma male influencers think like after a breakup, they're gonna go Patrick Bateman stuff, they're gonna go, oh, I'm gonna be alone, I'm gonna be something. So sorry guys, I'm so cringe. Gotta really improve my humor skills, but a lot of these Sigma male influencers really like to push people to loneliness, and I think loneliness is actually good for some time or period. Because the thing is, you need space to contemplate, you need space to realize and to process the emotions after the breakup. And so what we want to do is to balance. And so we still want to talk to people, we still want to get close with them. This is the time where we strengthen the bonds and connection with those people who cares for us. But we also want to stay alone in sometimes because we want to just listen to ourselves, what ourselves really is talking about. And I'm not talking about loneliness as in like just purely scrolling on Instagram without anyone looking at you, or just basically watching YouTube the entire time, or just being unproductive and lazy. Because the thing is, just dying with yourself, not doing anything, is productive if you're moving on. And it can really help you to find the inner purpose that you have, or just to find yourself again after after your heart has been broken into a million pieces. And so this is the time that we should take advice from them, but also just listen to what the inner heart, what the inner soul that we have is saying to us. So this is the time where we emphasize the importance of friendship and love and caring at this time. And so that leads us to step number 6, the last step. Step number 6, improving our social skills. This is not the time to be lonely. We have to meet new friends or experience new things. And this is what social skills are for. It's also in the last step 12, 2.1, improving your self-image. This is the time where you actually plan how you want to act, or how you want to shape your future self, and to shape his personality, improve his traits, learn new hobbies. This is the time where we actually just improve at communicating with people, and we should improve on being responsible, charismatic, being caring, having focus and attention, being confident to people, and just basically just what you can bring to the table in social situations. Social skills not only help us to move on even more, but we can meet new friends, meet new people that we can trust and talk to. And the more we improve our social skills, the better that we move on, because the more people that we talk to, the more that we forget about the past. We are just too focused to mind about the past, and we are just minding the present right now, because we have a lot of communications, that we have a lot of friends, new experiences, new fun times, and maybe even new relationships if you have moved on already. And it was one of the greatest experiences that I had improving social skills, and it's one of the most effective ones also in this list of moving on. I really do hope that this video is a guide for you to move on, and I hope you really found this effective, and I'm happy to see your journey and your thoughts about this video, about your girl, and I would really try to help you guys if you guys are experiencing the same thing in a breakup. And I really hope this video would serve as a reminder that breakups are a normal human experience in life, and that we should, instead avoiding it, we should just absorb the pain and continue in life. And thank you for watching. And I really don't want to say this to every single video, but just if it doesn't hurt, just please press the subscribe button. It gets more people to my channel, of course, but it also helps a ton of people when you subscribe, because they're gonna find this guide useful, and when they're experiencing the same thing, you can connect to each other and ultimately just improve their lives. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next video. Peace.